Well, the Chiefs have had so many one-win games, one possession games. But is it going to last all the way to the Super Bowl? That is the primary question we're all asking. Let's talk football. All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the All Around Sports Podcast, where sports are everything on this channel. I'm your host, Antonio. Today, we are talking about the Kansas City Chiefs again. The second time I've talked about them in the last few days. The Chiefs, as we all know, losing two very almost losing two very close games in the last 2 weeks, as they almost lost to the Carolina Panthers when they had a game-winning drive down the field to kick the game-winning field goal. This time against the Raiders, they ended up winning because of a Raiders miscue, as Aiden O'Connell didn't even look where the ball was. And the Raiders are kind of looking up at the division and seeing on how daunting the entire AFC West is. But anyways, the question is around the Chiefs. Would we be surprised if the Chiefs made or missed the Super Bowl? That is the primary question we're all asking at this current juncture in time. But I'm going to get into that here in just a second. Before we get started, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to do me a favor and smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. For now, let's get this discussion started. Oh, the Chiefs. I would be more surprised if they made the Super Bowl because right now, I don't see them making a Super Bowl. I'm sorry to all those Chief fans, but y'all know this. During that last game, y'all's hearts were pumping right out of your chest. And that is a big concern. Another thing I wanted to point out, I looked this stat up recently. I'm going to pull it up on the screen. There have been 3 teams in NFL history in the last 3 years that have had a lot of very close wins and had been one and done in the playoffs. I'm going to pull that up on the screen now. We have the 2023 Pittsburgh Steelers that lost to the Buffalo Bills in the wild card round. You got the 2022 Minnesota Vikings that lost in the wild card round to the New York Giants, and the Steelers in 2021 when they lost to the Cleveland Browns. One thing they all have in common is they all have been one and done. And just looking at this Chiefs team, I cannot see this team right now as a legit contender. I really can't because of a few reasons I am going to mention. The Chiefs offense has allowed so many sacks. They have allowed 32 sacks on Patrick Mahomes. 32. And the last time that they went to a Super Bowl and lost was when they were having offensive line struggles, except there were so many injuries. This time it is just bad O-line. They lost, of course, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that year. But their defense, on the other hand, struggled these last few weeks as they have ranked dead last in QBR allowed. And that is a huge concern. And this has been a ranking for the last 2 weeks. And if I'm looking at this, I am extremely concerned for the Chiefs because the main thing we've been looking at this Chiefs team is the defense has been the thing bailing them out. Their offense has been playing poorly all season, but it's been mainly the defense that has been bailing them out. And let me ask you a question to all the Chief fans probably watching this. What are you going to do when you have a team like the Buffalo Bills either on the road or at home? You have Buffalo in your house or on the road. What are you going to do when they are constantly putting up points and your offense can't do anything? What are you going to do against the Pittsburgh Steelers when your defense cannot stop Russell Wilson, which he's been looking pretty good recently, and then the Steelers having one of the best defenses in the National Football League? What are you going to do when you're facing against a Houston Texans team that has a similar struggle to you in their offensive line struggles? What are you going to do in response to both stopping the Texans and to getting points? What are you going to do against those teams? Because right now, their defense has been primarily the thing that has been bailing them out. But they've now been looking good recently, and they've beaten two teams that they should have very easily blown out. They beat two teams they fairly should have easily blown out: the Carolina Panthers and the Las Vegas Raiders. They should have easily blown them out. And the way that they have been winning, it just looking at that piece of history I mentioned earlier, if this team does not improve fast, they are going to be one and done. And we know they're probably going to get the number one seed just from the way that their record is stated. But Buffalo is there. If you lose 2 to 3 games and the Bills win out, they can clinch the number one seed, which I think is right now. I'm more confident in the Bills to take the AFC East, the AFC alone, than I am with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I know lots of people were saying this last year, but the Bills, they've been looking better. And the Chiefs are looking poor right now because on how close they have made games. I want to remind everybody that the last 3 teams that have had one possession games have each been one and done when they've had the most one possession games. Each of those 3 teams have been one and done in the wild card round, of course. But this is a whole different scenario. If the Chiefs clinch the one seed, or if they get to the wild card round like they were in last year, are they going to be able to beat a playoff team? Maybe like let's just say that they make the wild card. You would either have to play the Baltimore Ravens, Denver Broncos, or Los Angeles Chargers. Any of those 3 teams, I'm not confident in the Chiefs to beat because the Ravens, they only lost by a toe. The Chargers, they made up a good fight and have been looking pretty good recently. The Broncos only lost by a field goal to the Chiefs, which was blocked. And then if we look at the number one seed, the teams we could possibly be facing are either the Houston Texans, Baltimore Ravens, Denver Broncos, or Los Angeles Chargers. It would depend on who wins out the first round, who is on the lowest seed. But my point is, all Chief fans probably know this. If you constantly make these heart pounding, out of your chest games that are even making your fans unconfident, there's a big problem. So I would not be surprised if the Chiefs ended up losing in the playoffs. However, I would be surprised if they made the Super Bowl because right now it's not looking like it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What would you think would be the more surprising thing? If they made the Super Bowl or if they missed the Super Bowl? Let me know in the comments what your guys' thoughts are and why. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to do me a favor and smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao for now.